is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. It's time for Casey's Take on Sports, presented by Dixon Medical Associates, covering high school sports in Dixon and Cheatham counties and takes on sports all across the country. Here's your host, Casey Patrick.
Good morning. How are y'all doing? We've got a pretty good show to get into today. Our first take is going to be Warriors Dynasty. I should have put a question mark on that. Are they a dynasty? We're going to talk about it. Second take, we're going to talk about Rob Gronkowski. Of course, he retired yesterday, I believe. And then third take, I'm not watching the College World Series, and I'm going to tell you why. You probably already know. Fourth take, high school sports. You know the deal. Casey's Take brought to you by DMA. We're going to go. We're going to take another little trip real quick. We'll be right back. We're going to go to the first take right here. All right. Before I get too far into this show, I'm going to gloat because I was right. Warriors in 6. I told y'all that. I don't know why anybody disagrees with anything I say at this point. I was going to try and get that out with a straight face, but I did let out a little smile. I couldn't help myself. But Warriors in 6 sounded right. It was right. Winning pedigree for the Warriors kind of shows up. There's been a lot of talk the last few days about, is Steph, top 10 player, all this. Who cares what anybody else thinks? I think Steph is a top 10 player. And here's the thing. It's hard to take some of the guys that you may already have in the top 10. It's hard to take them out to put somebody else in. But Stephen Curry has 4 rings now, I believe. At least 3, right? He's got at least 4 rings. And he is statistically the greatest shooter that's ever played. Now, you can argue for Reggie Miller, Ray Allen. I'm not going to sit here and make that argument with you because I don't have to do that. But statistically, he is better than any other shooter that's ever played this game. He's put up and made a lot more shots than anybody else has, especially from behind the arc. Steph, I think obviously now I'm pretty sure most people would agree he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Top 10 player, you can kind of argue that. I think a lot of that's got to do with generation and stuff like that. Some of the older guys may really argue for, Larry Bird or Magic Johnson, which I'm saying they should be in the top 10. Don't get me wrong, but you're going to have different people from different generations that are going to argue for certain people one way or the other, and that's fine. But I'm not really sure how you can keep Stephen Curry out of the top 10 of all time. Klay Thompson, who he didn't play all that great except for a few spurts here and there. It was nice to see him get a ring back. Draymond, I don't think offensively he didn't play all that well, and defensively he's gotten a little bit older, so he's not as good as he used to be. But Otto Porter, Andrew Wiggins was great. Andrew Wiggins was great in the finals. He was great, and Gary Payton played really well in limited time. I know he was kind of fighting that elbow injury, and then Jordan Poole. This team's really, really good. And, I'm happy for Andrew Wiggins. I didn't really know what to expect of him whenever he was drafted out of college, but he's really found he's found a great role, and he's found a home in Golden State. So hopefully they can continue to play well. I don't know what their contracts look like. I don't know what their money looks like. It's hard to keep up with money in any sport, much less all of them. So, I think this Warrior, it definitely, this team over the past few years is definitely what I would consider a dynasty. They did have a year or two there where it wasn't great. Steph was fighting a few injuries. Of course, Klay had the really bad injuries, but they get them all back out there on the court. Jordan Poole, he played great. Andrew Wiggins played great. Kevon Looney was great. I mean, you have to give a lot of credit. You don't have to like Golden State. All right. If you're a basketball fan, you're an NBA fan, maybe you're a Lakers fan, maybe you're a Clippers fan, Knicks fan, God knows, whoever, whatever, doesn't matter. I think at some point, if you're a real basketball fan and you've got more than 3 or 4 brain cells, you have to be able to admit that the Golden State Warriors are a dynasty and they've been put together very well. Their front office deserves a lot of credit. They went out and they drafted most of this team. I know they didn't draft Wiggins. I know they didn't draft Porter. I get that. But they drafted Poole. They drafted Thompson. They drafted Green. They drafted Curry. They drafted Looney. They drafted a lot of these guys. They brought these guys in. They taught them how to play basketball their way. They play really good basketball. Golden State deserves a lot of credit. I know when I get older, I'm going to be able to look back, and I'm not going to have any kids, but I may tell my great nieces or great nephews that I was blessed because I got to see the greatest shooter of all time play with one of the best dynasties of all time. Not the best dynasty. I'm old enough to remember the Bulls in the 90s, but this is certainly something that I think we should definitely take point of. This is something that hopefully we, I don't want to say society, but as a certain generation in sports, we should be able to admit that, hey, this is really good basketball. And I hope, I hope we can remember that moving forward because there's a lot of not good basketball out there. So that's it for the first take. Oh yeah, we're going to do my read. Casey's Take is brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522.
At Dixon Medical Associates, your health is our #1 priority. With over 40 providers, our goal is to bring excellent, convenient, and comprehensive medical care to our community. Dixon Medical Associates, a destination for care.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl in Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Thanks for sticking with us through the break. I do want to talk Rob Gronkowski and him retiring, but real quick, I do want to bring up one thing. We just saw the commercial a second ago for high school officials. Maybe you're not interested, but please get the word out to everybody that you know that officials are very few and far between now. And I've talked about this a bunch. A lot of Friday night football games, they're having to move some stuff up to Thursday just so they have enough officials. I understand that can be a thankless job because a lot of parents are ruthless and disgusting, and they say things that they really shouldn't say to people at a high school sporting event. But hopefully, we can start to work on stuff like that as a group. But if you are interested or you know anybody that might be interested, please get the word out because we got to do what we can to make sure that we continue high school athletics, and not just for me. I know this is my job. Not just for me, not just for y'all to listen to stuff. It's for the kids. The kids deserve the opportunity. Very rarely do I ever see any of the athletes on the field actually say anything or do anything that is worth getting thrown out or getting kicked out or getting ejected from a ball game. And, the kids are not the ones that are running off the umpires or the officials. I can tell you that. So, again, I just wanted to bring that up, but we'll go ahead and we'll get into Gronk. I wrote down some of his stats before we got on here. 621 career receptions, 9,286 career receiving yards, and 92 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure that's just regular season stats. We all know he's got pretty good postseason stats too. It helps when you play with Tom Brady, who's been in every Super Bowl since 1947. That's an exaggeration. I understand. A joke, please. But Gronkowski, the reason why I wanted to talk about this, and I think the producer, the guy behind the camera here, not me, the other guy, JP, he kind of caught me because he asked me. He said before we went live, he said, "You think Gronk stays retired?" And that's exactly where I was going to go with this because Gronkowski, I don't believe he stays retired. Now, if let's say Father Time finally smacks Tom Brady across the mouth this year, right? And he goes out there and he's just finally playing like he is 40-something years old. And the Buccaneers go 7-10, don't make the playoffs. You're never going to see Gronkowski again. But if the Bucs are like 11-6, 12-5, or maybe there's a few games left in the regular season, they've got a pretty comfortable lead in that division because let's face it, the Falcons aren't going to be very good. The Panthers, as much as I like Matt Rule, are not going to be good. The Saints, they're going to have a new coach. I don't know how good they're going to be. The Buccaneers have a really good shot here to win that division. And I think if they've got a little bit of a few games, a little bit of a lead at the end of the season, they know they're going to the playoffs. I think Gronkowski comes back, and I'd almost bet money he told the Buccaneers that. I bet money that he said, "Look, hey, if y'all are sitting at like 11-2, 11-3 at the end of the season, I'll probably come back because I would like to play in the playoffs some more. But who wants to go through the rigors of a full season when you are as old as some of these athletes?" It's a different kind of old. My grandfather is real old. I love my grandfather, but he's 83 years old. These football players, they may only be in their 30s and even Tom in his 40s, but that is really old for somebody playing a sport as rough as football. Gronkowski may not be done. Now, he's done with the regular season. He don't want to be out here in the middle of summer heat running around. And to be honest, I think he deserves it. When you have 92 career receptions in the regular season, 9,200 yards, you have the rings like Gronkowski's got. You have that camaraderie with Tom Brady. I feel like, he kind of deserves the opportunity to say, "Hey, look, guys, I'm going to set this one out for a while. Y'all hit me up when you really need me," because they don't need Gronkowski in week 8 against the Jets or whatever their schedule looks like. I don't know what it looks like. I made that up. But Gronkowski is going to be able to come back week 14, week 15. get stretched out, maybe get the rust knocked off, he's going to be able to come. He's going to be able to come in the playoffs and be Gronkowski. He may not be great, but he's still got a lot of chemistry with Tom. He's still got pretty good hands. And last year he looked to start. Towards the end of the year, he started really running well again. Gronk's never really ran well. He kind of runs kind of clunky, but I think y'all know what I mean. He was able to knock that rust off. He's going to have to do it again, and I think he will. If I had to guess, like I said, I'm pretty sure Gronk is going to come back. But I believe that's all we got for that one. Yeah, let's just go ahead and we're going to go to the third take, College World Series. If you are a Notre Dame fan, if you are a Texas fan, an Arkansas fan, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't even know who else is in the College World Series. If Tennessee's not going to play in it, I don't want to watch it. Plus, I was so disgusted with Tennessee losing, and then like a few days later, Atlanta, their 14-game winning streak came to an end against the freaking Cubs. I was so disgusted with baseball. I have not watched a single pitch of the College World Series voluntarily. I want to say I saw like 2 outs in one inning the other day when I was at Applebee's. I went up there to go see a buddy of mine. I talk a lot about Applebee's. I love Applebee's. I got friends that work there. I go hang out a lot. But I'm not voluntarily going to watch the College World Series. I just don't want to watch it. I got sick with baseball. I was so mad. Like I said, between the Braves losing that I understand you're not going to win every game in the year. I get that. But losing to the Cubs, who had lost 10 games in a row and allowed like their ERA over those last 10 games was like 8-something, to lose 1-0 to the Cubs in Wrigley was that sent me over the edge. After I was already really upset with the Vols losing. And I told y'all last week, you got to give Notre Dame a lot of credit. They played really well. They came into Knoxville, played really well. They hit Tennessee in the mouth. Tennessee hit them back in the mouth a few times, and Notre Dame was able to come back in that third game and get the win. So you got to give a lot of credit to them. I'm not mad about that. I'm just mad about the fact that Tennessee lost. One of the best teams, probably the best team Tennessee's ever had. They weren't able to really make a whole lot happen in the Super Regional. And, everybody brings up the history about, the number 1 overall seed hadn't won it in God knows how long. And I don't really care. I don't really care about any of that. I just wanted to see Tennessee do well and at least make it to the College World Series. And if they would have made it to Omaha, I'd still be watching. At least up to whenever they lost in Omaha, or at least until now, if they were still playing or whatever. But I'm just not going to watch it. So if you're an Arkansas fan or Texas or whoever else is there in Omaha, if you're a fan of one of those teams and you've come here to Casey's Take to listen to College World Series stuff, too bad, because I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to. I don't have to. This is my show, and I'm not going to do it. I'm like I said, I'm upset that Tennessee didn't get in, and I am. It's a personal protest. Not that the College World Series did anything wrong, but my team's not in it, so I don't want to watch it. I just don't. And I don't know I don't know if any of you other people feel that way. If you're a Tennessee fan, or maybe like Texas. I know Texas got bounced by Oklahoma. No, that's not right. I can't remember who they lost to. But Texas is already out of the College World Series. If you're a Texas fan, are you watching? Are you watching the College World Series right now? If you're I don't know. Let's see. Ole Miss. I know Ole Miss is there. I don't know who is in it anymore or not. I really don't know. I really do not know, because I have not looked up anything. I haven't watched it. I don't want to know. I don't care. I don't care. Tennessee's not playing. I don't care. If you came here wanting to talk College World Series, go to Google. Talk to your friends. Something. Not here. Ain't going to happen here. But we're going to go ahead and we are going to take a short little break. Y'all stay here with us. We're going to come back. We're going to talk some high school sports. So y'all make sure and come back.
Here at Dixon Medical Associates, we've got you covered from neck to toe. Our orthopedics team offers services in sports medicine, foot and ankle reconstruction, spinal surgery, and more. We also have in-house imaging and physical therapy. Dixon Medical Associates. We specialize in what moves you.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
And again, don't forget, Casey's Take is brought to you by DMA. And it's brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. Let's see. I screwed that read up. I had it. It's where I had read it last, and it was down at the bottom. I had to scroll back up. I'm too slow. I was not ready. I made that mistake. But for real, y'all do need to check out DMA. They've helped me out a lot. I've said that a few times before. Call them. But high school sports, we've got quite a few things going on. I know that the dead period is coming up, so I'm going to take a little bit of time off this Saturday, the 27th, maybe Sunday. From Sunday through July 10th, I believe, is the dead period. So got a few weeks coming up where, you know, a lot of the high school kids get a little bit of a break away from whatever it is that they're doing. But before all that, I know we've got quite a bit of stuff. There's Sycamore's holding a football camp today, later today, and they're going to have a guest speaker from the Titans organization there at 5 p.m. So I'm gonna try and be out there, get somebody out there, take some photos of that. That's really neat. That's a really cool thing. But let's see what else in Cheatham. Ooh, I made a little boo-boo. If you read the Cheatham paper and you read the all-county baseball team, which is coming up in the paper this week for the Cheatham County Exchange, at the bottom it says, check out the all-county softball team next week. That's incorrect. It's not going to be next week. It's going to be the week after. Since we've got July 4th coming up, our deadlines have been kind of pushed up. So I'm going to wait and try and get the all-county softball team in with that. And that way it'll be a little bit easier on our designers, because we do have a lot of stuff between the designers and editors trying to get stuff ready before July 4th. The holidays are great. Don't get me wrong. They're really good for everybody. Everybody needs a little bit of time off. Go spend some time with family. If you like to watch fireworks, go sit out by the pool. Whatever it is you want to do, that's awesome. But it does make things kind of chaotic in my neck of the woods. So got to figure that out. But over in Dixon, a really neat event, which is Saturday, is going to be there's a Dixon Riptides swim team. I almost completely butchered that. There's a Dixon Riptides swim team. Oh my God. I don't know what's going on, guys. I can't say it right. There's a swim team. They're called the Riptides from Dixon. That works. Their first meet is going to be Saturday morning. I think it's from like 7 to 9:30. It's going to be more or less like kind of an inter-squad scrimmage. They're trying to show some of the younger kids how a swim meet works. And some of the older kids are going to get to show off how hard they've been working this year so far. I got to speak with the president of the board over at the Buckner area with Erin Steidel, and I hope I pronounced her last name correctly. But she was very helpful, helping me get a story written, just kind of getting their story out there. She also gave me the phone number of the coach, Desiree Giron, and I got to talk to Desiree, Coach Giron, and she gave me some great information as well. And we got a little story that's going to come up in the paper, which should be out today in Dixon, about the Dixon Riptide's swim team. There it is. I said it correctly. But that's going to be really neat. If you're into competitive swimming, like I said, Saturday morning, they're going to be out there 7 to 9:30. It is going to be an inter-squad scrimmage, but that's going to be really fun. I know everybody just heard my phone go off. I'm getting Twitter notifications. At CVP51, by the way, if you disagree with anything, want to argue with me, you like what I said, whatever, send me an email or follow me on Twitter and send me a direct message and complain or whatever you want. It don't matter. But check out the article on that swim team. That is really neat. But I saved the best story for last. So as all of you or most of you know, I'm an assistant coach for the Creekwood bowling team, and we had a few girls that qualified for the national singles event, which this past weekend was in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. So I made the drive up Saturday evening. I went up there and I watched a little bit of the team event, which we were not participating in. I went up and watched a little bit of the team event on Saturday. And Saturday night, I was like, okay, well, let's go get a hotel room. There were none. There just wasn't a hotel room except one that was really expensive and had like 2 beds in it, and I didn't need that. So I didn't get that. I found a really cheap hotel room on the other side of town. I didn't think anything about it. I went to go get this hotel room, pulled in, should have known immediately that I did not need to be over there. But I went ahead and got me a motel room at this one particular business, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to get sued or whatever. But long story short, if you're ever in the Louisville, Kentucky area, just stay out of Bardstown. It's not worth it. I did make it out with all the skin on my teeth and everything. I was fairly lucky to make it out of there too. That was a pretty rough experience. There was some stuff going on that I didn't need to be a part of, and I think I did 100 miles an hour in their parking lot trying to get out of there Sunday morning. Y'all should have been there. It was really fun to go watch these girls bowl in Louisville. They were great. The girls did wonderful. Out of the 3 girls that bowled, 2 of them qualified for the Survivor round. One of the young ladies wasn't able to make it. One of the other young ladies that was able to make it, and she bowled. She had a rougher day the second day, but we're all proud of them. And that's going to be an article coming up in the Dixon Post, so make sure you check it out. I think I'm 25 seconds over, so not too bad. But we're going to go ahead and end the show right there. Make sure you check out the Dixon Post and Cheatham County Exchange. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up. There's a lot of stuff going on around the area here in Dixon and Cheatham County, so make sure you check out the paper. Thanks for watching the show. And as always, y'all have a good evening.
This has been Casey's Take, presented by Dixon Medical Associates. Casey's Take is a Main Street Media production.